Easter, the holiest day of the Christian calendar, a celebration of Jesus Christ's resurrection from the dead. So what does this miracle have to do with a bunny delivering painted eggs? The answer lies in 100 generations of rituals and customs.
Within 200 years after it began, Christianity abandoned many of the teachings of its founder, Yeshua, commonly called Jesus. Influenced by Greek and Roman paganism, Zoroastrianism, and beliefs that even go back as far as Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, Christianity turned away from most of its Hebraic foundation. Worship rituals of the sun god Sol Invictus, who was born on December 25th, were adopted in rituals common in the modern holiday of Christmas. To continue this veneration of the sun god Sol Invictus, Constantine in the year 300 imposed Sunday to replace the biblical Sabbath. Other holidays like Easter and even Halloween were adopted in favor of the original Hebraic days of worship it once honored. But the rabbit hole goes much deeper, and the church doesn't want you to know the truth. From what the Messiah looked like to the very name he was called by, what you have been taught all your life is almost entirely wrong.
We must first look back to the beginning in the 1st century. The persecution of Christians by the Roman Empire started under the rule of Emperor Nero. More than 200 years later, by the end of the 3rd century, rank persecution of Christians had become commonplace throughout the empire. Christians who refused to recant their faith and worship both the emperor and Roman pagan gods were tortured and killed. In the mid-3rd century, under the rule of Decius, an edict was issued that forced those claiming to be Christians to either worship Roman gods or face execution. As Pope Victor I is well known for the Court of Deciman controversy, where he pushed for the excommunication of Christians who kept Passover as opposed to the adopted pagan fertility festival held on Sunday, later known as Easter. Victor sent out a letter to be distributed among all the Christian churches, where he warned that the Lord's resurrection from the dead should be celebrated on no other day than on Sunday. In response to this instruction, Polycrates, the bishop of Smyrna, wrote that he kept the Passover on the 14th of the month according to the gospel, without deviating from, but following the rule of faith. Threats do not frighten me, for greater ones than I have said God must be obeyed rather than men. The Christian faith underwent a dramatic transformation, adopting pagan practices and symbolism such as that of the ancient Egyptian symbol of life, which was used to picture the cross. Having been raised as a pagan devotee of the unconquered sun, Constantine's adoption of the transformed Christian faith effectively blended his ancestral pagan religion with what Christianity had become. Constantine declared that, "On the venerable day of the sun, let the magistrates and people residing in cities rest, and let all workshops be closed." Sunday worship, as opposed to Sabbath day observance, was later canonized by the Council of Laodicea in AD 363. It was Constantine who gave the stamp of approval for all the transformation that took place between the 1st and 4th centuries. Unlike Decius, who sought to unite the empire under paganism, Constantine managed to unite the empire under the guise of Christianity. He effectively set the stage for all the faux Christian practices you see emanating from Rome today.
Originally, Easter was celebrated 2 days after Passover, so it fell on any day of the week. But Easter Wednesday just didn't feel right. In 325 AD, Roman Emperor Constantine and the Council of Nicaea ruled that Easter must fall only on a Sunday.
So basically, while millions of early Christians died to protect the purity of God's laws, millions of Christians today are the main ones defending the pagan merge. And after thousands of years, the same question remains. Is taking a pagan tradition wrapped in a Jesus sticker pleasing to God? History and scripture flat out tell you without any confusion, but do you honestly care? Does it matter that much of your beliefs today come from thousands of years of strategic, programmed brainwash? The pure gospel of Christ is 100% true, and although scripture can prophetically prove its validity, can you accept it past all the lies? Thank you so much for watching.